For today's video, I wanted to do a review on this Sun 7 LED lamp. The first thing that you'll notice about this lamp is in fact that it is cordless. So it does actually have a rechargeable battery, which is really good to keep your desk space nice and cord free so you don't get tangled up in all of the cords and you don't have to have a messy power board anywhere. So if you flip it over, then you can see the casing where the battery goes, and that just pops off, and then in here is the battery. So this battery has actually got these little lights so that you can see how full it is once it's plugged in. I'll just show you quickly. It's just got this little cord, and it did come with a UK plug, but they did send me an Australian adapter without me even asking them, so I thought that was really helpful. So you just plug that in here, and then you can see that the 25% light is flashing, so that's where it's up to. I've noticed that it takes about an hour to reach 100%, and that 100% will actually last me a whole day, probably 1.5 days. If you have 6 clients a day, it has lasted me 1.5 days. So I think that's really, really good. It is annoying to get caught out in the middle of your day, so I think it would be best to get in a routine of charging it up of a morning, and then it will be ready to go for the whole day, and then charging it again the next morning. I probably wouldn't leave it charging overnight because I just don't think it's a very good idea to leave things plugged in overnight. But if you can get into the habit of charging it up every night, then you'll be good and ready to go. I do wish, just a bit of feedback, I do wish that they did have an indicator of how much power is left in the battery, like on the top of the lamp, so you don't have to worry about running out when it gets low. But that's totally fine. So usually after it's been turned on for the whole day, the next day that I come in, these lights are still lit up, so there is still definitely power to it. So this lamp actually has got 3 different timer modes, which is 10 seconds, 30 seconds and 60 seconds. Most of the time I use 60 seconds because most of my gel polishers tell me to cure it for 60 seconds. So they also do have sensors on the sides here, so once you pop your hand into the lamp turns on. For the automatic sensor, they turn on for 120 seconds, so that's 2 minutes, which most gel polishers don't need, and most UV gels don't need that. So after the clients pop their hand in, then I do push the button, and then it will count down. I think it's great having the little display on the top here counting down for the clients to see, because they like to know how much longer it's got to go. And I also have got the C&D lamp, which looks a lot like this, but it counts down on the back so the client can't see. So it's really good to have that feature on the top here. It did also come with this little visor to stick on the back here, and I've chosen not to use that. The reason that they have included it is because, as you can see, the UV light does actually come out the back of the machine, and if you were working behind it with a gel polish, that could possibly cure your gel polish that's out there. But I am always well aware that to make sure that my polishers are not sitting behind it, because I like to keep it off to make sure that once the client's hands are actually in there, I want to make sure that their hands are right here where they need to be. There are these little grooves that you can see, so they can put their fingers in there. Some clients might feel the need to creep forward, and for example, if that visor was on the back here, their hands could be all the way out there and you wouldn't even know it, and the tips of their fingernails wouldn't be cured. So I think it's a good idea to keep the visor off so you can check, and if my clients have gone too far, then I just say move back just a little bit, and then they'll move back. So that's where they need to be. Also, it's been perfect for curing thumbs because there is these little lights on the side for each thumb, and I think that's a really great feature because a lot of lamps have trouble curing thumbs. You don't want your client to have to sit in there all awkward and everything, but this has a nice curve to it, so your hand just sits in there comfortably and it just automatically knows where it needs to be to get a full cure. Like I said, this does look a lot like the C&D lamp. The casing is pretty much identical like the outside shell. The only thing different that the C&D has, like I said, is a display at the back, and they actually have got divots where your fingers are supposed to sit, but most clients don't need that. But it's good to keep an eye on them just to make sure that you don't have any problems at the end and have to redo a service. Another great feature of this lamp is that it has a low heat mode, and this is great for curing LED gels. If you cure a really thick layer that you've built the whole nail in one layer of gel and you just pushed one of these buttons that are the full heat mode, the client can experience quite a heat spike, and I just hate burning clients with the gel, and I know some clients feel it, some clients don't, but having this low heat mode, it does go for 99 seconds, and so it will have a full complete cure, but it's just not as intense, so they won't feel that heat spike because it's curing a lot slower. So when I turn that on, you can see it will count up to 99 seconds, but I'll show you the difference in the brightness when you change it to the full full power. So it is very, very much like more a half strength cure. So I think your clients will find that really, really convenient. You won't feel bad about them experiencing that heat spike because it makes it much more unlikely to happen. So thank you so much to everyone for watching this video.